There's some echoing. I don't know if it's just my phone.
Whatever. You can turn it off. We'll just we're gonna go ahead and go live. So I clicked live. Welcome back, everybody, to Strongman's beautiful, perfect, and amazing stream. Today, we're gonna talk about ARKX. We're gonna talk about Cathie Wood, and we're also gonna mock Jeremy of financial education. This is an experimental live stream, and if it doesn't go well, maybe I'll delete it. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna do a live reaction to Jeremy's most recent video. And we're going to show you what a complete freaking idiot he is. All right? So welcome back, everybody. Subscribe, like the video, go to Jay Naugy's channel, subscribe. I know it's hard to press a freaking button, but do it. And then we'll all be happy. Oh, and go buy my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. Do you have it? Yeah. He's more of the ball than I am. I have my book like downstairs or something.
Dude, yeah, that ARKX or the ARK Space, whatever ETF is so stupid. The best company they have in there has the third lowest allocation, Lockheed Martin.
All right, so let's give them context. Like, what is ARKX?
That's the Cathie Wood Space ETF that she recently announced.
Okay, so if you don't know, viewers, Cathie Wood is like the hotshot ARK fund manager. You know, the lady in her 60s. And she's like famous for calling Tesla, saying it was going to go to whatever. Nobody believed her, and then it actually did go there. So I guess she got lucky on that one. But Jay recently made a video about her most recent fund that was released. It's called ARKX, and it's now, I think it was trading as of what, Wednesday, Thursday?
Something yeah. Was it like $20?
Yeah. So it's like their most recent. It's their most recent ETF, but it's more focused on like, I guess, space exploration and other stuff like that. More futuristic crap. But Jay made a pretty hilarious video about it, about how you should totally put all your money into it, right? So Jay, tell us a little bit more about ARKX and how amazing it is.
I think three or four out of the top 10 holdings even had PE ratios. And then, I went and looked at a lot. I'm not going to spend that much time. I looked at a lot of their balance sheets. Yeah, the companies are profitable, but I don't know where Cathie Woods gets this idea. If you want to play space, I'll tell you exactly how to do it. Buy Lockheed Martin.
100% Lockheed Martin for space?
Not 100%, but the United States is already actively engaged in space. I don't know what people think I don't know if people think that the timeline for a lot of this technology that's hyped is even remotely close, like space mining. We're not going to see space mining until minimum 2050s or 60s.
Oh, yeah. No, that's next year. What are you talking about? We're going to be landing on asteroids and shipping gold back to... Is there Bitcoin in space?
Probably. But, dude, it's like, well, a lot of these companies, they're going to be offering you space travel. Okay, well, you have to use liquid propellant, and that has a fixed cost. It's never going to be cost effective to send the average person into space with current technology. Maybe if something comes of that thing I sent you about that nano diamond battery, because, if that even lives up to half of the promise, that's a game change. That's a world changing company, because that's a world-changing technology. Because I was thinking about it today. I'm like, there's no reason why you couldn't ramp that up too, and that would mean houses have generators running off of the radioactivity.
Look, I think the Illuminati will shut that down. Okay, they're not going to let that happen. We can't be too comfortable. But so what were some of the top holdings in ARKX?
Oh, I don't even remember. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, I saw a 3D printer ETF.
That was the second highest allocation.
So she has a 3D printer ETF and a space ETF. I'm sure there's some logic there, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay, hold on. Space. All right, hold on.
ARKX.
Well, even I can tell you right now, Cathie Woods doesn't understand the 3D printing landscape either. Because, you have basically zero moat in that.
Yeah, and the other downside of her ETFs is they have like a 0.75% expense ratio. I mean, I don't know if this one does too, but that's pretty expensive for that. That's extremely expensive.
It does. Okay, so you've got Thrimble. I mean, I briefly looked at it. I mean, look, man, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of my life looking at what I know is a garbage ETF. You know what I mean? I'm just like Yahoo Finance.
XJ, what are you talking about?
And then, okay, so 8% in Trimble Inc. All right, anytime that you weigh 8% of your portfolio in any individual stock, I really question how much you know. Then the 3D printing ETF is 6%. Kratos Defense and Security, that's 5.75%. L3 Harris is 4.95. JD.com, which is a play on the Chinese stock market, that's 4.92.
People got to shop in space, you know?
Yeah. Komatsu Ltd, limited, whatever that is, 0.49. Iridium Communications, 4.47. Lockheed Martin Corp, and then Thales and Boeing. There's only 2 stocks in here I would even consider owning. And I still would be skeptical at the current prices to buy. I mean, Lockheed Martin's PE ratio is 15, so it's probably a good buy. There's probably a good 10% upside on it if you wanted to add it to your portfolio. Boeing was good when I bought it at 125, but I sold it at 180.
Well, are most of those companies not even profitable?
Barely. They're barely profitable.
Yeah, so it's another one of those like, super futuristic growth speculation plays, basically. I mean, if you really want to play this ETF, like I have a confession. I actually I showed you. I put $100 into it. I was like, okay, it's ARK. There's going to be a bunch of idiots. It's ARK. And they're all going to buy. And then
it's already happening. You're right to play it with a couple $100. You're right to gamble on it.
Yeah, it's for fun. I don't care if it drops. It's like whatever.
Dude, the ARK isn't going to implode for a while. I don't think ARK implodes for like 3 more years. I think it's going to take people that long to get off the hype train on Cathie Woods.
Well, bubbles can go for a long time. Like, was it the .com bubble? It went for a couple years, you know. Yeah. And everybody, like, even the bears, like, you know, us, they were eventually right, but even they were tempted to eventually buy, and everybody else was just making all this money for years and years and years. And then once the last bear gives in, that's when the bubble pops.
Yeah, and that's why you don't want a lot of exposure to it. There's nothing. We say this all the time. There is nothing wrong with gambling with less than 1% of your portfolio because, I mean, the advantage in that is you don't panic and you don't care. So if you see it drop by 95%, but you have confidence in the company, like Amazon did at the top bubble, you're like, nah, man, there is something to this company. I'm going to ride. You sat on it for 10 years. I mean, and people also, they want to jump the gun. You could have bought Amazon for $100 in 2010. I almost did. Kicking myself now.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to buy stocks individually until 2020 because I had never, ever used a brokerage before that. This is my first experience. Everything else has been like, you know, doing index funds, but you know, with Robinhood, I think it's super easy. I actually like the app. There's a lot of haters on Robinhood. I mean, yeah, and I dump on it sometimes, but I mean, at least for like utility and for ease of gambling, if you want to, that's the best place to go.
People think Robinhood did something during the GameStop fiasco that they didn't do. They think that the hedge funds called them and told them to stop selling or buying the stock. It's that Robinhood didn't have the money. It was literally running out of money to actually be able to buy these shares. I forget what the exact brokerage rule was, but Vanguard would have shut you down too.
Yeah, because basically they're buying it on behalf of the shareholders the investors until their funds settle, right? Is that kind of what happened?
That's what I think it is. I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I don't think it's a crazy conspiracy, but it is kind of weird. Like, you know, there's probably a lot of transactions going on Robinhood. Do they really not have enough money for one stock? Were that many people trying to buy those stocks on Robinhood?
It had to be. You had to be because of the demand from the short squeeze and the consumers and the investors. And I mean, GameStop's one of the most retarded things that I've ever seen because it's still hovering at $170. And I cannot for the life of me figure out whether these people are just messing with hedge funds or they think it's a solid bet. And I think a lot of them think that that GameStop is going to be a $500 share price.
I think it's just a lot of people, a lot of desperate people hoping that by some miracle, it's going to go up and it's going to make them wealthy. Like, I don't think they really care about the company. They just think this is like their one shot at getting instant riches. And that's why they're so, so invested in it. Like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to pay off all my bills and all my debt. And this is going to be the future. And, of course, what's going to happen. They're going to lose all their money, but.
Yeah, and I mean, when you said like I didn't even buy individual stocks, I didn't start buying individual stocks till 2019. My money just sat in index funds, and I was like, maybe I should get more into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to play around with. That's why everybody has the itch. I'm a hardcore index investor, and I'm not really a gambler. But even I have a couple $100. Maybe I'll just buy some Alibaba, or maybe I'll buy this. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I went a little bit too crazy on Baba.
Yeah, how many shares do you have?
22.
You probably have more in your because if you have index funds, you probably have you have Alibaba in those index, so you probably have like 35.
You might, dude. If it gets delisted, you'll see me on here like talking all about the mistake I made and how I was just like I got greedy and I got it in my head. I'm still up because the vast majority of my shares, I think like 15 of them were bought in the 170, 180 range. But I look at it right now and I'm like, it's so tempting to just.
Yeah,
but it's too much of my work.
This is what separates, good investors from crazy ones. Like, just resist that urge because that urge is what gets people to, severely overweight their portfolios.
Well, dude, in my defense, like 4 of those shares I bought when I was hammered.
I mean, you're okay. Like, you're not like insanely overweight. What are you like? It's 5-6%.
Yeah. No,
I mean, that's the same.
4 or 5%. 4 or 5%.
Yeah, that's like one of the safest plays. I mean, it's not nothing safe in the stock market, but I mean, that is such a massive company.
Yeah, and everybody's
delisted.
Everybody's freaking out about the regulators. The regulators are making a big show of it, and they're making them divest of like what would amount to like $900 million in their media company. And Baba is just printing money over there. It's so I don't know why everybody is freaking out about. Ultimately, for better or worse, we're not going to decouple from China. It's for the worse for our country, but hey, man, I need to be chilling in retirement.
Yeah, China's. I don't think China's going to always be a manufacturing superpower. I mean, it seems to be like a trend with growing countries. Like they start as like heavy manufacturing countries, and then they get wealthier and wealthier and wealthier, and eventually it gets too expensive to manufacture in your own country, so they outsource to poorer countries. That's what I think.
No, dude, it becomes expensive. Like I have a product that I have an idea for, and I'm like, where can I go? Oh, well, China costs X, but Vietnam costs this, or Bangladesh costs this. I'm going to go there, particularly because I don't really like Chinese political system. But I mean, there's only going to
people. Do you?
There's only going to be so long that you can enslave the Uyghurs before worldwide pressure is like, bro, are you really trying to sit there and tell the entire world you are not killing the Uyghurs and committing a genocide? And you're looking at America like we're the bad guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's all propaganda war. Like, I think most people see through it. The Chinese media is always going to, we're not doing anything. But we all know what's going on. Well, they know that we know that they know.
They know that we know that they know that I know that we know about the Uyghurs. Dude. But also, this is something that people don't understand about the Chinese threat. China has a way bigger problem. We talked about this last time. They're going to hit a demographic crisis with an aging population because of the one-child policy. Whereas in America, we're doing well because we have immigration. Immigrants are coming here and they're younger.
That's the only thing that saved America. I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you look at Europe, we would look exactly like Europe if we didn't have a lot of immigration.
But it's always saved America. It's the way it works. As a country becomes wealthier, you have less children because it requires a higher education level. And then you have menial jobs that you need to be done. And then a guy from Mexico sneaks across the border and he's like, I can do all your carpentry for X number of dollars. He adopts the principles of living frugal. He makes a new life for his family. Second and third generation become wealthy. We need more immigrants from wherever. I mean, that's just the cycle of America. And every time people talk about the threat that these guys are coming from South America, they're going to change the culture. Of course they are. And then we're going to change that culture. And it's going to become a mixed up American thing. You know, it's the same freaking stupid arguments. You can go back to the Germans coming here, the Irish, the Italians. It's all the same argument, just recycled over time.
Yeah, like no one will care in 50 years. I mean, like nobody even thinks about like St. Patrick's Day, like, oh, that's an Irish holiday, you know, or celebrating an Irish thing. But
I go out on Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, hey, fuck it, it's a reason to get drunk.
You know how many federal holidays we're gonna have if we keep bringing new cultures in?
Good.
like basically every other day we're gonna have a federal holiday.
Yeah. Well, we celebrate Halloween, but we got to celebrate the Day of the Dead to honor our Mexican heritage too.
You must get a day off, or you're culturally insensitive.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I'll use cancel culture back on them as a weapon.
Might as well. I love my days off. You know, actually, I was surprised this weekend wasn't some kind of federal holiday. Like my wife actually had off, but I didn't. So I had to take leave on Friday to be able to, you know, do some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I love the holidays. I don't work them because I'm like, in the situation I'm in. And like I said, if I transition to a 3:30, I don't know if I told you, if I transition to a 3:30 to midnight shift, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to school during the day for medical billing and coding, because that's a 16 to 32 hour a week or hour paid job, part-time job that I can just do on the weekends. So I'm most efficient then. And then I'm going to do associates in accounting. It's 3 classes.
No, you're going to become a CPA. And you're going to pay me to tutor you thousands of dollars.
Well, dude, when you're a CPA, you own your labor. The federal government's like, you're fired. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, that's partially the reason I did it. It's like, you know, worst comes to worst. Like I told myself when I got out of the military, I was never going to be in a position where I was like skillless ever again. So that's why I went nuts with the certifications. And I might even do more. I'm thinking about doing the CMA exam, which is like a management accountant's exam, and maybe even like an internal auditing exam, just to like keep busy and to keep brushing up.
Yeah, just have an alphabet soup. You know, that just decided for me to kick off my 10-year plan. You know how the China has the Belt and Road Initiative? I'm throwing a new initiative. Once I get to a 3:30 to midnight shift, unless I can go and do stand-up comedy or this takes off, I'm just going to add new skills. I'm always going to be in school. Like, Jay, Saturday, you want to go? I got accounting homework to do. Because, I mean, it's like on the medical billing and coding thing alone, $16 to $32 an hour.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can even quit your current job and just, you know, do YouTube, maybe make a little bit of money on that, you know, then maybe make a little bit of money on stand-up, and the rest comes from your medical billing job. Like you don't need, especially as a single guy, you really don't need that much money, you know?
No, you know what it really is to me is to kick off like what I really want to do this year is paying down. So I have everything paid down that I need to pay down. So I got to take out a tree. So that's $2,000. Then I got to get a vehicle. That's $6,000 to $10,000. Everything paid off. And then I want to show like on my channel, how much if you save your whole paycheck, like with a goal. My goal is to live on $2,500 a month. Everything is getting invested. And this is just how quickly I'm building my accounts.
Let's see how much money you need. You need $750,000.
Dude, in all reality, if I save my entire paycheck now, I'm going to be there in less than 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, the more you save, the faster you get there. And you got to think, like, I mean, past performance isn't a guarantee of future results, but, historically, every 10 years, your money is going to double. So whatever you have right now invested, double it. And that's what you're going to have when you're 50.
Yeah. And so... Yeah, that would be my plan. Also, I have some other things I'm going to try and get into too. It's contingent me getting to the 3:30 to midnight shift, which I'm most efficient, and I can do videos and write my stand up. Because I cut home when I get up and go to work at 12 to 8. I come home a lot of times and I'm tired. 3:30 to midnight, I'm never tired. Like I'm perfectly slept up. So my other plan was get my associates, get onto my bachelor's in accounting too. But I might go work for a gunsmith around here and work for free. So for the training.
You have to be paid.
I don't have to do we can make an arrangement. Listen, man, I don't work for you. I volunteer here.
Yeah, that's a legitimate way. Like if you're actually learning a legit skill and the person can't afford to pay you, it's okay. Like especially if you can support yourself, it's okay to work for free a little bit just to, gain that valuable skill set because you're actually getting paid in knowledge.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's like, well, somebody tried telling me that you can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. Like I have the right to voluntarily give you my labor.
I mean, who's going to turn there's like a government, like a drone, like you are working without pay, Like
is a government agent going to come into the gunsmith and go, well, who's he? Oh, he's just some guy that hangs out here. He's half retarded, so I make him think that he works here. And then the guy will walk up to me and I'll just be like, yeah, no hablo inglés, pussy.
Yeah, people are always scared. They're like, "Oh, somebody's gonna turn me in, and I'm gonna go to jail or something." It's like, no, you can do a lot of things that you don't think you can.
Oh, I'd love to go into court in front of the judge, and the judge is like, "Wait, what are you here for?" Like, yeah, apparently me volunteering at a place for free, so a guy will train me in a specific skill is now an arrestable offense.
Yeah, then he throws you in jail for 10 years.
Dude, yeah, I'm doing hard time in there teaching the inmates about their finances. Listen, Huey, okay? Now, you want to get X number of dollars per dime bag of heroin. We got to do assets equal, what is it again? Assets
equals liabilities plus equity.
Yeah.
You need to account for your business, and you got to worry about taxes too. Even illegal transactions are taxable.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's how they got Al Capone.
Yeah, that's like they always test you on that. Like they say, oh, somebody did something illegally. Is it taxable? It's like, yeah, it is. Everything's taxable.
Well, according to modern monetary theory, we can just print money. So I'm not really sure why I'm even paying taxes.
I mean, it is a tax though. It's an inflation tax. So it's an inflation tax on the poor. Because rich people can just buy assets and they go up, but poor people are getting slammed. Whenever we have big inflation, because all their stuff goes up in price.
But if poor people are making the proper moves, I don't have a lot of money. Okay, but do you have $10 a month to invest? What about 50? You got those lottery tickets over there. Could you give that habit up? Everybody's got a habit. Every single human being has a bad habit that they could give up and use that money to invest in the stock market.
Oh, so yeah, especially with fractional shares.
Yeah, so a poor person, I keep telling people about the woman at my work, never made more than 40 grand a year, paid off her house, raised 2 kids, and is about to retire in 3 or 4 years. She's going to be almost a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, So I was actually looking at how the like different classes of society where they put their money, and basically everybody below the top like 10 or 20%, I can't remember exactly. Most of their money's in their freaking house, and then you look at the rich people, and most of their money's in like stocks or other security, like financial assets. So if you want to become wealthy, you need to look and say, well, what are the rich people doing? Are they buying? Are they putting their money into houses, or are they buying securities? And if you copy what they do, you might actually kind of end up like them in the future. But a lot of people think it's impossible. You can't do it. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like you buy a house below what you can afford. Oh, I can afford $700. I can afford $1,000 a month mortgage. Okay, buy a house that's $600 or $700 a month. Invest the rest. Inflate that away, the cost of the house. And I mean, there you go. And once you own your house, there's no reason why you can't now invest that former mortgage money. It's just you wanted to go out and buy a $600 a month car.
Yeah, like but buying a small house, I think is like the main thing that most people screw up. They get way too big of a house. But if you're able to like suck it up and not worry about what other people think, get a small place that suits your needs, as small as possible, and you're going to be fine. You'll be way ahead of everybody else who has a nice big house with all their all their growth, their gains, and their house value that they can't even use.
Dude, I wish I didn't even have an extra bedroom in this house, because then when people were like, can I crash? I could be like, nah, you'd sleep. I don't even have a couch, man. You can sleep on the floor.
You would have been good with like one bedroom, maybe like a tiny office. You could you make a man cave and then a living room. Like that's all you need. That's what I would have.
Yeah, dude, I'm satisfied with this. I mean, I wish I would have bought less house or paid less for it, because I definitely overpaid for the house. But I had to get out of that cockroach-infested apartment. And, is the Scientologists bought it, and they want you out of. They want everybody who's not a Scientologist out of there. So they refused to do anything about the cockroach problem. I was laying bait. I couldn't kill them, and I was like,
wait, are you serious? Or are you joking?
No, I'm dead serious.
Scientologists bought your apartment.
Yes. Clearwater, brother. Scientologist. Tom Cruise owns this place.
I was like, is this a joke? This is a joke.
No, it's 100%, dude.
It's April. April Fool's is already over.
Yeah, dude. that original rant I did last night about the space was going to be in April Fool's, but then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to stick with it, and I think that's what I'm going to do now when I mock people. I'm just going to, oh yeah, this is a great stock to buy. I'm going to lever up on this.
What's funny though, like watch us get sued for like a spoof video when all these other idiots with massive channels, nothing bad ever happens to them. But if we did it, we'd probably get sued.
Yeah, I mean, I got a reaction when I said Jeremy's $0 to $200,000 portfolio is impossible. A guy must have saw it. He watched it through. He goes, "Hey man, good video." I never understood why anybody would take this guy's advice. I'm like, I just replied back, like, because he's a known liar.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, I mean, I've said this multiple times. I was dual military, no kids, hyper saver. I put a ton of money away. We were making great money. We weren't even close to the amount of money that he claimed to have at that age. There's no freaking way that he had that much money.
And Andre G, man, because I used to, I was like, okay, this guy isn't a bad guy. I'm not going to dig into him, but I am now. That you fucking bought your $1 million house with your YouTube money, 1 year's salary. Oh, that's smart. If it would have been one thing, if he would have been up there talking about his thriftiness, and he's like, I found this house and it was like a moderate house, a reasonable house. But no, he went and bought a mansion. And I also know he was lying about his portfolio, because it just wasn't feasible for him to have a $150,000 portfolio by the age that he said he did, making $40,000 a year, especially with the way he invested in 200 individual stocks. These guys are all just straight up frauds.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know their portfolio, all the money in there is literally just their YouTube earnings getting invested in there, because you can make it seem like your portfolio is growing when you're just throwing money in every single month from your YouTube revenue. So it makes it seem like you're a genius when really you're just investing more money. You're not actually getting gains.
Well, if my channel ever actually started to take off, I would tell you exactly how much money I was investing from my YouTube channel on top of it. Like I would be like, guys, this isn't realistic. I'd be like, I'm making YouTube money now, but this is still my approach. It's the same approach I've always had. It's a boglehead approach. And you might even see me making an individual video where I go, I'm gambling on this stock, and I'd put out X amount of money, it'd be something trivial compared to what the portfolio was. If I was making $100,000 off YouTube, I'd be like, I'm throwing a G into this stock and here's why.
Yeah, I mean, I would have the most boring YouTube channel. Like if I started showing my portfolio growing, it's like, yeah, I expect to get 10% over the long run. I'm buying more VT today. And then the next month, okay, I just bought more VT. And then the next, okay, I just bought more VT. Like that's all I would do.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with cataloging your journey. You know what I mean? It's like, because you and I, Drew, we're taking the best approach to investing. Oh, not everybody can index. Okay.
Wait, why can't well, I mean,
I don't know why they say
like in
that.
general, like you're saying the entire market can index.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we get a free ride.
Yeah. Well, that's never going to happen because if everybody indexed, there would still be stocks that were undervalued. So people would rush in and buy them.
Yeah. People are like, oh, there's an index bubble. No.
Michael Burry. Yeah, well,
and even then, it's like how can VT be in a bubble? It's like literally impossible.
VT can be in a bubble because the world stock market is in a bubble at the moment. Because like a massive liquidity pumped into it, but it can't really be a bubble.
Yeah, it's just like an index fund bubble.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because most people that are buying index funds, they're like buying like VU or something. Like, yeah. Who buys VT? I don't know anybody. I've never heard of anybody that buys VT except for me. Maybe some people on the Bogleheads forum.
Well, I'm going to start buying it.
Yeah, I mean, I know you will, but like the average person, like who talks about VT? Nobody.
Yeah, I'm going to start buying VT just because I want more international exposure, and that's the easiest way to get it.
Yeah, that's why if you have 100% VT, you're like 45% international. And that includes emerging markets too. So it's a one-stop shop. And you can get VT Wax if you want to do an index or a mutual fund. That's at Vanguard. It's the same thing, just in the mutual fund format.
Yeah, here's the problem though. I have so much money outside of the Roth that I could spend the next 10 years putting it in there, and it's still all my money wouldn't be in there.
Yeah, well, it's good to have some in taxable. Like I have a decent chunk in taxable, but that's partially my fault for being dumb and not maxing my Roth. But I'm also kind of glad it's there in case I do want to retire, like maybe in my 40s. I have a ton of money I can access, without having to get penalized.
Yeah, and there's also this thing where I'm like, it's probably good to have some in a taxable account anyways, just in case like a major life emergency needed to come. And you were like, or came up and you're like, well, this is what this is for. It just sits in here. It's probably not even the worst idea to just throw it into muni bonds, just in the bond fund in general. And you can just sit there and say, well, that's my savings. It's earning 3%. It's better than a bank account, but.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know what munis are returning now because generally munis are going to be lower than.
They're like 2. I think the Vanguard's 2. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe I'll do that.
But I
mean, like, with bonds, I made a video about it. Like all the freaking interest rate changes, like that can still screw you pretty heavily.
I'm not loaning Uncle Sam any money because they're a pauper right now. You're gonna give me 1.73% on a T-bill. You know where you can go with that.
Like I'm really wondering who is buying these bonds. I mean, we could go research it, but I'm like, why would you buy such a crap investment?
The government's buying them.
Well, I know the central bank buys some of them, but they're not buying all the bonds. Like there's people out there buying them, and foreigners and Americans and pension funds. Like people are buying these bonds, which it's just ridiculous. Why?
I don't understand it myself. Like Nate asked me about bonds, and I said minimum 5% is what you're going to have to pay me. Minimum. I don't even know.
That might be over inflation, because if they're paying 5%, maybe inflation's 4%. There's a reason.
Yeah.
You know, so like they're just not good when you're young and you're investing. They're just a terrible way to do it. Maybe if you want to like preserve your money and make a little bit more than a bank account, maybe. But
well, like I told you, what I would do if I won like $10 million tomorrow is probably jack like $5 million into muni bonds. So I have $100,000 a year tax-free salary, and then I would have the rest in index funds.
Yeah,
and I would do that because I have a tax-free income.
I love paying taxes. I want to support my my government to make sure we, improve society. And on top of that, we're also doing. Are we doing like an infrastructure bill? Aren't they talking about that?
Yeah, 5% goes to roads. It's really and this is when I told you about the nano diamond battery. This technology, if it turns out to work, it immediately invalidates all green technology, because it's like we're gonna use petroleum products to create windmills. Why? We have a radioactive generator right here. Yeah. See, that's the thing that people can't anticipate, and I tell them too. They're like, "Well, solar's the future," but you can't predict what technologies are gonna come out.
I mean, I really think in like 30 years, we're going to be living almost in like a paradise when it comes to like cheap energy. There's going to be something that they're going to come up with in the next 30 years.
Even if it's just we get over this stupid fear of creating Godzilla with nuclear power plants, like 4th generation reactors, it's impossible for them to go critical. Like nothing comes in. They produce barely any waste, because they use I think it's a liquid salt to go around the heating element. So that liquid salt is then what boils the water. So it's virtually no waste.
Yeah, liquid salt. I guess anything can be a liquid,
Well, yeah, anything. Steel can be liquid.
Yeah.
There was a guy in China, man. I don't know why he did himself like this, but I guess apparently he levered up in the stock market and lost all his money, had debts he could never pay back, and then threw himself into a molten steel furnace.
Oh, I saw that. I don't know where I saw that, but I know what you're talking about. See, that's why you don't trade on leverage, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're contemplating throwing yourself into a molten pot of steel.
But the thing is that's got to be an extremely painful way to go.
I think it'd be like instant, dude. If you go head first, you just melt your brain and that's it. Like how long does it take to melt your head?
Wouldn't it just be better to fall head first? I mean, you're going to feel your skin burning.
Yeah, I mean, you'll feel pain, but I think if you literally dunked your head in lava and it just like instantly melted your brain.
But you have to understand something, dude. Like when people they show somebody fall into lava, that's not going to happen with the human body, because the lava is still denser than the human body. That steel is denser than the human body. So you're going to feel it for 20, 30 seconds versus falling. You're not going to feel shit.
Well, you'll be falling and seeing the ground come closer. I mean, I'm sure that's terrifying, but yeah, I guess once you splat, that's it.
I think hanging yourself would be. Look, there's a myriad of ways. Dude, autoerotic asphyxiation off the planet, man.
I will never engage in such degenerate activities.
I'm just saying, man, that's probably a more pleasurable way to go than falling into a molten steel furnace.
Or don't they have like things that crush in the plants? Like they flatten the steel. You just put your head into there and then...
Yeah.
How long would that last?
Dude, I don't get it, man. And I'm like, there was another one where that was just, I don't know why this dude was sleeping in there, but the dude was sleeping in the inside of the crematorium at a morgue. Somebody didn't realize that it was just a person asleep, so they turned it on. And then you can't turn it off. And then they said they heard some screaming and the guy was cremated.
Why would you, of all places, why would you sleep there? I mean, that almost sounds like kind of sketchy. Like they probably just put him in there and murdered him. And they were like, "Oh, you're sleeping in there. I didn't know."
Yeah, because it's like if I'm going to take a nap, like we've been working for 16 hours straight and I'm looking at my boss. You pay me or not paying me, I'm taking a fucking nap. I'm going to go out to my car. Air condition, a little bit of tunes.
But maybe your car could be in like a landfill. Maybe they want to like, compact the car. So that could happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, dude.
Hey, I got to take a piss real quick.
Right.
When I come back, do you want to try to do the Jeremy thing?
Yeah, let's see how it works out.
All right, yeah. If you can hear me, you should be good. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna take a piss and get more kombucha.
Bum. We have one viewer. Who is it? Who's watching us? Make yourself known.
Watch it be Nate.
Watch it be like me on accident. I'm like running it on my phone.
Dude, I'm trying to get my food costs down to. I'm trying to get my food costs down to $100 a month. I'm gonna have to start making like goulash and shit like that.
That's gonna be tough. You said your food bill down to 100.
100 a week, I meant.
Oh, okay. That's reasonable. All right, so let's try this out. Let me know if you can hear this. So I'm gonna pull up his video.
Do you want me on my phone or what?
No, we'll just do it from where we're at. You can see my YouTube, right? Coming up.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Financial education. There he is. No. The hell is it? I know this is very unprofessional, but we're still young YouTubers, so it doesn't matter. I'll just look for it. Financial education. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Is it pretty loud?
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
3 stocks on by April 2021 edition. Welcome in, guys, to the kitchen.
Ooh, who's flipping my Snapchat? Dude, this guy just looked. Dude, you know who this guy looks like? You know who he is, dude? He's the type of dude that you meet him and he's nice to your face, and then you go to take a piss and he starts trying to make moves on your girl, and your girl's not having it because she thinks he's a creep, and you come back and you're like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I didn't do it. He just flat denies it. Probably sneaks a couple dollars out of your wallet if you're not.
Honestly, though, I think he's very attractive, and I want him to be the father of my children. So I disagree with you there. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, man.
Okay, all right. Let's see what he had. Let's see these 3 hot stocks that
right.
Jeremy wants to give us.
Sure buys for me in the month of April.
Sure buys.
Then we're going to get into actually 5 stocks. Okay.
5.
5 stocks that I'm going to probably buy.
So
that's more than
20% of your portfolio, one stock.
There's more individual stocks than I already own.
We're getting to 7 different stocks in this video, which is the most we've ever gotten into in one of these videos ever. So I hope you guys enjoy this as always.
I can't believe this dude thinks he's funny enough or cool enough to make appearances.
Hey, so you see these things in the background? Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
So aren't these like trophies that he gives to people?
Yeah, he gives people trophies for like the 6-figure and the 7-figure. Like,
like idiot trophies.
yeah, like how does paying this guy $15,000 get you to $1 million faster than you would get on your own if you just crushed index funds?
Well, here's the thing. They probably have like 900,000 to invest, and they're like, Jeremy, what should I do? He's like, oh, and puts them in like Tesla, and
He's
then
like,
they're at $1 million, and then they get their little trophy. So
he's like, dude, first we got to flip our flapjacks.
I mean, he's got a pretty nice kitchen. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that fridge. Holy crap.
Yeah, dude, that's because of YouTube money. Dude, I would be in a nicer house than I have now, but I would still not have this like mansion that he has. He talks about how it's an investment, and I'm like, a house is not an investment, dude.
It's the only investment you need. You just buy one house in one city, and you'll be a millionaire. All right, let's see what he has to say.
Algorithm, as always, guys, I appreciate it. I hope you appreciate me putting out these videos for you guys, keeping you informed on us.
I appreciate you, Jeremy.
I'm buying in the moves I'm making.
Jeremy, it pisses me off that you can't grow a full beard.
Somebody did something really interesting. And shout out to the person that did this. It was pretty cool. There's one mistake he made. It was busy.
Okay, what are we in March?
But they went through all of the stocks, all the videos essentially released in 2020 about different stocks and how much those stocks are up or down. It looks like the only one that really got us.
Oh, this is actually a good thing to look at.
What? I can't really.
Can you see it?
I can see it basically.
Yeah, he's like showing what stocks he bought and how much they've been up. So, I mean, if you're looking at the stocks, those seem to be roughly in line with the market.
Yeah.
Like the market's been up pretty significantly. So
Dude,
by buying that crap,
VT is up 60% in the past year. I just looked at it yesterday.
Yeah, it's been insane.
I think my returns for the year were somewhere like 55%.
Woo!
So okay. Point again. We already know this dude is not some stock market guru. And if you're out there and you think that he is, you're actually incorrect. And time will prove us correct. And actually, you can just look at the history of investing. But, I mean, how much time do you want to sit there going over balance sheets? Like, I wanted to do a video. I need to get somebody to do a video with where I'm like having a nervous breakdown where I'm comparing stocks. And then another me is just partying, or YOLOing, and like, I lose to him on investing, and I threw all this time into it.
Well, I mean, even if you're looking at balance sheets, you're still trying to project future cash flows, which you don't know because they're in the future. So it's literally impossible to get it right. I mean, I guess you could get it right and just be lucky, but you just don't know what the future is going to hold, especially if it's one company. There's so many things that could happen to one company that you just can't predict them.
Sven Carlin said it. He does a PhD in finance. You tell he makes these videos. He thinks these guys are idiots. He's just not going to, he's a nice guy. He's just not going to say it like I will. But he even says, when you pick stocks, prepare to pick a lot of wrong stocks. So why do it?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, just for fun, I guess that's what I do. I have I have two stocks. I have Walmart and Alibaba.
I think I have more than 5 stocks, but those are just little bit amount of money that were plays. Like Oxford Lane Cap Corp, it pays a 20%. It paid a 20% dividend when I bought it, and it doubled in price in that time. But I only put $300 into it. I was like, let's see what a 20% dividend gets me, and now it's paying a 12% dividend because it's doubled in price almost.
Yeah. I mean, a really high dividend like that is almost a sign that the company's.
Well, it's not almost; it is. Yeah. But I just wanted to see what I could get. All right, so let's see what this D.
Right, so let's see. Let's learn the knowledge.
Unfortunately, but everything else pretty darn good. I've been putting out these videos.
He bought Berkshire. Wow.
So if anybody
That's probably the smartest thing he ever bought.
you want to go through and accurately put up the numbers.
Well, Jeremy, I paid him $15,000 for him to tell me to buy the company that Warren Buffett runs. That was a smart play.
Now the question is, Jeremy, when do you sell these stocks? Are they a buy? Are they a hold? Do you actually update the people that pay you all this money and tell them what to do? Or do you just kind of like give them some stocks and let them run?
Oh, he's got coaches, unqualified people. He's got coaches. Yeah. Well, dude, one of our coaches, he worked for Tesla. He's an engineer. What does that have to do with picking stocks? That's what I said to him.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so here's the first stock he wants.
Yeah, let's see what he's recommending.
Oh, come on. There we go. Look at that. Okay, here it is. 0 to 250K in stocks before age 25.
Right.
That's the famous claim that we don't believe.
Right.
It's easy, bro. I mean, especially on average salaries.
He made $50,000 a year for literally 2 years.
Yeah, dude. I made 4 times that when you combine that with my my ex-wife, and I did not reach 200K by age 25. It was several years later, and that's with like massive savings and making a lot of money. So right off the bat, we know that's BS. So let's see the stock.
Let's get into this. The first stock of the bunch is.
Oh, come on. Should I let the commercial play so we pay him?
Is Tattoo Chef TTC.
Oh, this company's straight garbage.
So I haven't done any research on this. So like, tell us about why this is such garbage.
It's plant-based meat. Dude, 90 or 95% of the American public eats some form of meat. People are not going to switch into being, soy boy lattes and quit eating meat. I don't understand why people think this vegan food is going to take off. Bill Gates is like, people should eat more plant-based meat. You cannot possibly be that dumb, Bill. Just say people should eat more plants. Plants-based meat is not a thing. It's made up of soy and oils.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, there are some mega cities with a lot of, like lefty liberal people that probably would be interested in the product. So if this was to succeed, it would only succeed in, a very few amount of states.
Yeah, it's going to be a niche market.
Yeah.
And like you and I say, if you're going to take a chance, man, gamble with a little bit of your money. That nano diamond company, if that comes on the market and goes public, I'm buying shares in it.
Yeah, I mean, just for a speculative play.
Yeah, I'd probably buy like $200 and $300, something like that.
Well, look, we got earnings per share. Current year 2021, 0.09. It looks like next year, 0.07.
Smart.
Wow. That's two analysts watching it.
Yeah, dude. Let's see what's my.
Let's see if he shows any other like financial data. Does he even look at PE ratio? Probably not.
No, he looks at forward PE ratio. I've seen him talk about that.
Which that's a guess about what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's completely unreliable. It's like, oh, it's a forward PE. Well, it's based on estimates of future earnings, which is the future, which nobody can predict. But okay.
Bank of America's was 59 cents a share this year, and that's with everything that was going on. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And it's like you buy a good company at a good price. Like I bought Bank of America at $23.
Yeah, I think I got it at 24, and then I like sold it at 30 something because I was just sick of having
No, there's nothing wrong with that either, man. You made a good profit on that.
I know. I'm basically a millionaire now, but now I'm looking at this analysis here, and I'm starting to get a little bit tempted to buy Tattooed Chef.
All in. 100% Tattooed Chef, 100% Tesla.
Like I don't get why he does. It's just it's almost impossible to read. Like I mean, I get he's trying to like explain what they do, but his handwriting is complete garbage. Like at least format this in a way that people can actually read what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I got to start doing reacts to his videos on stocks where like this stock is straight garbage. All right, let's see where.
All right, let's see the. Oh, wait, here we go. I think he's going into like earnings growth here. Oh, come on. No.
Dude, I let Sven Carlin's commercials play so he gets paid.
What the hell?
Powered the world's strongest portfolios for decades.
All right, here we go. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, man.
The hell? Oh. Can you hear me?
YouTube found out what we were doing. They can't have us knocking their golden boy.
How dare you stop our money machine? He's doing great things for people. What the hell? Where were we at? 9:56. Let's see if we can do it again. All right.
Oh, I talked to a musician here. We can go to his site and use any of his beats.
Oh, that's cool.
If we want, I'm gonna probably make an open. He's also gonna help me write a gangster financial rap. So, what he wants in exchange is us to teach him about finances.
Hey. And if he needs an accounting tutor, I'm here.
Yeah, man. I just get pumped. I turned 2 people onto the Boglehead forums in the sauna.
Yeah. All right, so I'm looking at this. Do you see anything amazing and delicious about these numbers? Let's see.
I can't really read them that well on my end.
All right, so projected net income is going to be 30. I guess that's 33 million, and the revenue is 22. Yeah, that's a 14% return. I mean, it's not bad, but these are all projections, so you can't really rely on these. And then in 2022, all right, so there's literally no growth. It's going to be the same 14% return, and then in 2030, they're projecting. Yeah, the company doesn't have any earnings growth. I mean, like the net income's increasing, but the margin is staying exactly the same. So it's not becoming. They're not projecting to become more profitable necessarily.
Here, dude. You know, not that Yahoo is the gospel, or you should really just follow it, but it's got it at 18% overvalued right now.
Yeah, I mean, because like, do they have a PE ratio, or is there nothing?
They don't even have the PE ratio on there or earnings per share. So probably we're like, this stock's straight garbage. Why even tally it?
Yeah, and what's the market cap? 1.7 billion. I mean, yeah, he's not going to be able to move the stock, but I mean, he might get lucky and have some short-term gains on this. But overall, for like a speculative stock, I mean, I'm really not that impressed with this. It's too niche in my opinion. Like, it's not world changing. Like, if I'm going to speculate on a stock, I want to have it, be some kind of world changing. Like, I guess Tesla would be a good speculative bet because it's electric vehicles. Whereas this, I mean, is this really a special company?
Yeah, I don't see the vegan. Like, you already have the frozen food industry is an extremely competitive industry. What are they bringing to the table? Oh, they're vegan. Okay, well, that's a small part of the population. Also, frozen food is terrible for you.
That's true. All right, let's see if there's anything else. So blah, 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 blah. 200 million in cash.
That sounds probably exactly how he would have said it.
All right, yeah, let's see if we can actually play it.
Has around, they just said on the investor presentation recently, the latest investor. The reason
oh my God.
Well, that's easy. I can make.
I've seen this commercial 1,000 times.
They did around $200 million in cash. This is a small market cap company. 200 mil. They're in the financial position. Never mind as profitability starts to come in and cash flow starts to come in. They're in the financial position to add employees, add factories.
Dude, you know what I'd love to see? Pauses for a second. I'd love to see if we got into it where we were actually questioning him and you started talking about accounting and like just listening to him and you're just sitting there like.
I mean, I'm looking at this. If you're going to be such a growth stock, why are you sitting on so much cash? And even if you have $200 million in cash, it's relative to what? Like,
what did you say? It's a $1.8 billion market cap. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think it's like 1.7.
So why wouldn't you be pumping a lot of this money? Your company's not big enough to require that kind of cash reserve.
Yeah, if you're a growth stock, I mean, that should be getting funneled into growing the business. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're waiting for something. I don't know. But on top of that, you can't just post 200 million of cash, because that has to be relative to something. You have current assets like cash, and then you have to say, okay, well, how many debts does the company have? How many current liabilities? And if they have a ton of, let's say, 400 million current liabilities and only 200 in cash, well, the company's actually looking pretty bad. So just by pasting 200 million on there, that's just meaningless.
All right. This stock is stupid. Let's see what it's.
Yeah, let's go on with it. All right, hold on. What's this? Yeah, he's talked about this one too, Corsair Gaming. Let's see what he has to say.
All right, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Prison Tattoo Chef, basically, I want to get my positions fully built out in these by the end of April. That is my goal. Corsair Gaming, $3 billion market cap of this company, just went public this past year, just like Tattooed Chef. This is so simple. This one, it trades at a 24 P. It's just silly. You don't have a company like this with this type of growth ahead of it trading at a 4 P of 20. That is beyond silly, in my opinion. This is just a company looking for a long-term shareholder base here. This company should be trading at least a 30, if not a 40 forward P on this company when you look at the type of growth rates they have going. And
hold on, pause it real quick. Not that, again, gospel, Yahoo Finance is the gospel, but they have it at 61% undervalued. And in his defense here, I don't really know that much about this. So, I mean, he might know way more than me. For me, like you said, you want a game-changing stock. I don't see how this is game-changing. It's gaming equipment.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just looking at metrics, like, okay, a 29 PE for a growth stock is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I wouldn't stop considering the stock, but I would have to see, like, what are they offering that's revolutionary and groundbreaking? And the gaming industry is pretty saturated. You have some giants out there. And I'm just wondering, like, how is this company going to have a competitive advantage against some of the titans out there, like Microsoft and Nintendo and all those others? But, like, this isn't a bad bet if you want to gamble on a stock. So I'll give Jeremy this one.
Total revenue is growing.
Yeah. Let's see what he has to – what do they have? Oh, they have green screens. Wow. All right, here's some more data. Sales growth. Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy sales growth. So it's not even like necessarily a crazy growth stock. You know, you got like a prediction of a 12% sales growth in 2021 and then only 7.2 in 2022. So it's almost like it's like approaching becoming a mature company unless there's some kind of revolutionary change that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really have any comments about it. I mean, this would be an okay gamble. I wouldn't be against it if you want to screw around with it, but
yeah, I would say with this stock, just don't be putting retirement money that you need into it.
And then also ask yourself, does this company have some kind of advantage over other gaming industries? I mean, yeah, it's kind of an upstart. I've never heard of them. But, I mean, is it really going to be able to start taking market share from Nintendo and Microsoft and all those other companies? That's something I would consider when I'm looking at this. But, I mean, for Jeremy's picks, that's not bad.
I love how you couch it for his picks.
All right, let's see what the last stock is.
In the month of April, but they're not for sure buys. Okay, let's get into those.
So when I paycheck,
Jesus Christ! Don't you make enough money stealing from your fans?
Palantir. Isn't this a meme stock?
I think so. It's a data. And
all right, let's see if he puts up metrics. Okay. All right, so this is more growthy because you can see right off the bat the sales growth estimates.
Yeah, they plan it tier stock. Yeah, they collect your data.
Ooh, aren't you like totally against that, Jay?
Yes.
Yeah, this is definitely this is more in line with kind of the stuff that he does, where he looks at like these, rapidly growing, kind of smallish companies, small cap companies that have the potential to potentially explode, but you don't know. Because the thing is, like, you're looking at sales growth, right? And sure, that's pretty incredible sales growth, but that doesn't mean that the stock is undervalued, because the price of the stock factors in everybody's consensus on where the stock's going to go and what it's going to be worth.
Yeah.
So just because you see 31% sales growth doesn't mean you're going to get 31% per year, because everybody knows and is looking at the same data. They're all kind of playing a game to say, okay, well, what do I think the stock is worth? So don't just get swept in by freaking sales growth.
I agree. I think people are going to wake up to the value of their data eventually.
Yeah, this is a stock I would say stay the hell away from. I've been seeing this on Wall Street Bets a lot. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a meme stock, so this is a stupid bet. I mean, okay, it may go up. I don't care, but
it may go up in the short term.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's better places to put your money, like in low cost index funds.
That's boring, Jay. Stop. Right.
Well, what is this?
Here's the next one. G-Tech.
Penny stock. Penny stock. Penny stock. What's its ticker symbol?
GGTTF.
Yeah. Okay. I think I looked at this before.
Market cap 104 million.
He might have enough people to push the value.
Yeah, that's something he could potentially pump. But like, yeah, those bigger companies, he's not going to be able to move those stocks. Come on, give us more metrics, Jeremy. Oh, we have an ad coming on. Oh my God. Come on. Oh, this.
I mean, it looks to be rapidly growing, but
yeah, I mean, penny stocks are just highly speculative. Like,
No, I agree.
So, I mean, if you want to screw around with this, literally just to gamble, okay, you can put your money in this. And
dude, I would back you on that, just because I think he has enough juice to push this stock.
Yeah, it's only 104 million. I mean, that's not a lot, especially if you have millions of followers that, have, a couple thousand each. Highly possible. I'm surprised he's not pumping more penny stocks, because that's where he could actually make an impact. Maybe he's scared of getting the book thrown at him by the SEC.
Dude, well, there's one thing you could do if you had a massive channel like that, is kind of bring people together and say, listen, I'm not going to buy this stock, but if I use my platform, if we push this and everybody understands, we can make people a lot of money. That's a completely different thing that you probably could get away with.
Yeah, it still sounds kind of sketchy. Like, like if him and Graham Stephan and Andre Geek and all these guys got together and they started pumping this stock, I mean, yeah, that would seem like a pump and dump, especially if they were invested in it and then they sold it later on once they made some gains. So,
yeah, I think they're just clever enough to know that the SEC would get real interested in them.
Yeah, I'm sure they've been watched already. So if anybody's watching this right now, if you want to screw around with any kind of penny stock, I mean, this is a stock you could maybe buy just because this clown is pumping it, and you never know, what short-term fluctuations. But long-term, who freaking knows where this company is going to go? Way too early. Is it profitable?
Barely.
Yeah. All right, what's next? Voyager?
Oh, dude, this garbage stock. This is one of those cryptos. I looked at the financials. It's not even. All right, just give me what is the?
It's a VYGVF.
VYGVF. Yeah.
Like, what do they do in relation to crypto?
God damn it. Yahoo kicked me off. They're trying to get me to buy.
You better start paying. But no, if this is any way related to crypto, the revenues are going to be highly dependent on what's going on with the market. And if crypto crashes and this is somehow super tied into crypto, you could see a lot of trouble. So I would I would not touch this stock with a 10-foot pole, but you know.
Okay, dude. All right, dude. So 6/3/2020, not operating interest, or here it is. Other income, operating income, -8. I'm assuming this is 8 million. It's -8,841. So like everything's in the negative on this company.
So they're not profitable yet, but I'm just curious what they do. But if it's related to crypto, I say stay away. If you want to invest in crypto, just buy the freaking crypto.
Yeah. There's supposed to be like a Coinbase type thing.
Oh, there's so many apps coming out. Like I see all these commercials. There's tons of companies entering this space.
Do you know what I compared crypto to? Baseball cards.
Or Pokemon cards. Those are big too.
Yeah. And then
trades those.
Yeah, but the problem with baseball cards is in the late 90s, they started printing and this Planet 13 doesn't understand the weed market. But in the late 90s, they started just having these ultra deluxe editions, and they just overmade them, and the baseball card market imploded. Well, it's the same thing with crypto, because every other day they're coming out with a new crypto, and they're like, well, we just don't know which one's going to be adopted yet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the safest bet right now would be the ones that are, have been around forever, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, if you want to play that crap. But even then, you don't know because there's no fundamental value. So whatever. If you want to trade crypto, that's cool. So this is like what, a weed company, this Planet 13?
Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is they're a high-end weed company, right? Once weed goes legal, am I really going to go to this place to overpay for weed because there's a bud tender there dressed in a suit making $20 an hour or $15 an hour, whatever it is? I'm going to stand in line to get in there for what reason?
I mean, there could be a market for this for richy, uptight people. But I think if weed becomes fully legalized in the United States, I mean, there's going to be a flood of competition.
Yeah.
Walmart. This is not going to be the dominant one.
Walmart will be selling weed.
Yeah, I mean, I would not touch weed stocks because there's just way too much potential competition in there. That's usually what happens, like if a new thing comes out, everybody floods into it, and then only a few make it to the top. And if you're betting on one or two companies, you just don't know who's going to make it, which is why it's a bad idea to invest or put all your weed money into this one freaking stock.
Yeah, this is stupid. He's going to make money on this in the short term. I guarantee it. But then the hype will just die out of it. And it's not going to end up being I'm not opposing that. Amazon's a great company, but it just goes to the question of, is this the right time to buy it? Yeah.
I mean, looking at the trailing PE, I mean, we know it's a growth stock. Whatever. It's still a growth stock. But, geez, that's
too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It's a great company, but I would not pay that price for it, especially when there's better deals out there like Alibaba.
Well, Amazon was the steal of the century. Well, not really. Apple was the steal of the century, but Amazon was the steal at $100 10 years ago.
Hey, real quick, what should I do? Should I do thumbs down or thumbs up?
Thumbs down.
Dude, I saw him. We took him out.
This dude sucks, like on such a high level that it's ridiculous.
Oh my God, we have
there he is.
Aaron still hasn't invited me on his channel yet, or come to my channel. Guy's a peepee head.
Yeah, we were trying to get you on. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. It's definitely going to.
Look, there's going to be so much competition that it is way too early to see who's dominant. So you at least want to wait and bide your time and say, okay, I see all these competitors, and I finally see this one company that has the potential to win. Then you can maybe speculate on it, but just buying it because it's a weed company, that does nothing.
Yeah, look, when weed becomes federally legal, guess which guy on here is going to be smoking weed? Well, eating it. This guy. I'm just waiting for it to be federally legal. But
I'm still in the army.
There is no way that I'm going to go down to Planet 13 to overpay.
Oh, I was talking about Aaron, but I mean, you can come on too. I know. I even emailed you, and you didn't get back to me.
But dude, see, the thing is like I'm the average weed guy. You know, I'm not gonna go stand in line so I can talk to some bud tender. I'm just gonna be like, no, dude, I have this edible that I like that I can pick up from Walmart. I don't need you. I don't need you to sit there and tell me about like it's grown with organic wheat juice or whatever it is.
If it ever was like actually sold, you know, if it was totally legal, even for like Army and federal workers, and I could actually do it, I would literally go to Walmart to buy it because I know Walmart's probably going to have the best deals.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's when I'll start using it is when it's federally legal because it's federally legal.
It's like getting beer. You go to Walmart, you get some beer, maybe get some weed. You know, like why do you have to go to Planet 13, an individual store by itself? Unless they offer like a ton of different variety. I don't know what they offer, but I mean, if you're just a regular guy and you like a certain brand, then you just go to Walmart and get it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I'm the type of person that you, like people, they don't drug test you at work. I'm like, yeah, but I signed paperwork that said that I wouldn't do it. And as much as I don't agree with that, that's kind of part of my word. I accepted the job voluntarily. Not smoking weed is not that big a deal. So therefore, I don't use it. But if it's federally legal, you better believe I'm going to be on that CBD train too.
Yeah, I've actually never smoked it in my entire life. And I'm not even joking. I've never done it. And actually, like, I would like to try it, but, you know, it's going to be a while. It's got to be totally legal. I have to be able to do it in the military.
It's not going to be totally legal under the Biden administration. No. And I don't foresee the Biden administration lasting more than one term. So I think you're going to have a Republican president in 2024, and I don't foresee them legalizing. It's not going to be legalized till the 2030s. It's going to take a cascading effect where like 75% of the states have legalized. And then they're just going to be sitting there like, all right, the cat's out of the bag. What are you going to do now?
Look, we're going to amend the Constitution. We're going to put it in the Constitution.
Well, kind of the constitutionalist I am, I don't consider the government to have the actual authority to do it if it's not listed in the Constitution. Like, you had to make a constitutional amendment to outlaw booze. So why is any other chemical? Why don't you have to amend the Constitution? If we all agree that we're going to do that, I'm fine with it then. But, you know, I just wish the country got way off the path of constitutionality a long time ago, and we need to get back on that train.
Yeah, could you imagine if the founding fathers saw how powerful the federal government is now? They'd probably have their minds blown.
That document would have probably been like 1,000 pages long of stuff the government can't do.
I mean, really, I would say, wasn't it like the Great Depression where the government really started to explode? I mean,
it started with the administrative state of the late 1800s. Then it was just exacerbated by the Great Depression. And World War II came. Then the space race. And then the war on drugs. And it's just been an ever-increasing amount of power that bureaucrats have over your life. And it's like what made America great was the fact that central planners weren't involved. A guy working down in Washington can't anticipate that I want a hot dog next Tuesday.
Yes, you can. Some kind of capitalist pig, Jay.
Even if it's affordable, you know, guy. These people have, yeah. No, you're 100% right, my friend. I agree with you. And I mean, all that gets hooked.
I mean, I would slightly disagree because, like, you got to think about what it took to get that weed to the buyer. Like, you have to, like, you know, maybe ship it from another country or sneak it around or maybe grow it in some distant place. So there's probably a lot of costs associated with that. So I wonder if it was like legalized, I think the price would go down if you let all the competitors.
Once economies of scale get involved, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it would definitely be way cheaper. The only problem, the government would probably put a big tax on it, kind of like tobacco, which pisses me off. but it like doubles the price of tobacco. And they'll probably do the same thing with weed. So it'll probably be expensive just based on that alone.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't want people to think I'm also anti-government. I believe in a strong centralized government. I just think that it's gotten too big, like with taxes on tobacco. Like, what?
I remember when weed dip used to be like $1.20.
Yeah.
Now, 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was like 99 cents.
It's like, why? You're killing me.
Yeah, I'm
gonna quit in the next couple months. It's like, my wife's quitting her job to raise the kid, and it's no more dip.
Dude, I got to dial back the booze.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, probably because of state taxes.
Yeah, it's probably the taxes, man. That's probably what makes it expensive. Because like
Gavin Newsom wants his cash money.
Yeah, it's like a way for governments to make money. Like they've considered, like, oh, we'll legalize it. We'll have so much revenue from it. We'll be able to save money by not enforcing the laws. So if it gets fully legalized, there's going to be some kind of tax, and it's going to keep that price artificially high. But whatever, what can you do?
Yeah, I don't understand why we go through this with every administration. Like we just keep leveling taxes, and then we sit around and we wonder why people are poor. Well, maybe if you didn't tax them on everything, they'd have more money to invest. We'd overall be much richer.
Dude, the biggest drain on the average person isn't federal income taxes. It's freaking Social Security and Medicare. That's what screws the average person. But if you didn't tax people 15%, they would have so much more money to invest and pursue their own interests. And that would lift a lot of people out of poverty, in my opinion. But what do I know?
You know how much you could do to, like, people are like, we have this sustained inequity because, we had racist policies like Jim Crow and everything. Disadvantaged communities. Okay, let me go in there and teach them basic financial literacy. Like, you see this lottery ticket, and I saw it all the time. I told you, it has nothing to do with your ethnicity. I was in the Dunkin' Donuts watching these two poor people scratching off these lottery tickets in a desperate attempt to get money. And I'm looking at them and I'm like,
the key to success is just being financially literate and being frugal and getting any kind of skill. That's the triple crown. It doesn't. You can be a plumber, whatever. If you're frugal and you understand how to build wealth and you have a skill that people want to pay for, it doesn't matter what your race or gender are. You're gonna be successful in the United States, which a lot of people don't believe that, but whatever. Keep buying your cars, keep buying your houses. Don't get a skill, whatever.
Yeah, we repeat it ad nauseum on here. It's like, we need to lift people out of the poverty with government programs. No, you don't. You just need to educate them, and it really doesn't take that much. Just beat it into their heads.
Yeah, the programs will keep you alive, but they're not going to make you prosper.
And it's also, you'll ultimately find that you're a slave to the government.
It's a trap. It's almost like, like disability, for example. Like, if I had gotten 100%, I would have been tempted just to be like, oh, whatever. Do I need to work? Do I need to produce anything? Do I need to develop a skill? It almost like holds you back because you have that security blanket and you don't have to do anything. But if you're not getting that stuff, you actually have to.
I think you'd be tempted, but I don't think you would. I think you would end up finding something productive to do, even if it was at less than the standard 40-hour work week. I think if you got 100% disability tomorrow, you might quit your job, but I still think you would probably keep books for companies, whatever it is on that's a side.
I honestly I would probably stay at my job for a while. I'm thinking like back then when I first got out of the Army, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get disability, maybe I can just screw around. And it was that temptation was there, and some people will fall for it. Which, by the way, I have to take a mad piss.
I'll comment on this. You think everyone, dude, but you know what the problem is? The problem is we have people like AOC in the government who think that just the answer for everything is more government in your life. And it's just not the case. And, a centrally planned government is less efficient, and it all makes us all poor. We're going to have to learn this lesson. Yeah. And accountability to reckless spending. If we had lower taxes and we, the people, forced the government to pay its bills, maybe we wouldn't be bombing everywhere in the Middle East.
I'm back. What I miss?
Nothing. I just commented on this comment that,
Not everybody does agree lower taxes are good. A lot of people, they think they can save the world by just taking money from the rich and spreading it out, which, it'll keep you alive. That's true. Government programs will keep you alive, but they're not going to help you prosper. I don't believe that at all.
Dude, if I thought about this, if I ever became a professional working comedian and I became friends with Rogan, I would like to piss him off with my frugality. It's like, dude, how much did you make last year? I made X. And he's like, you're still living in a 2-bedroom house on a little plot of land. Like, yeah, man. Like showing up to the comedy club in an old beater. He's like,
I mean, I would say if you're super wealthy, you could probably get like a $20,000 car. I might have to get one of the smaller.
Dude, I just try to annoy Rogan with showing up with a pickup truck with the rear view mirror hanging off because it's broken.
Like wondering how you actually passed the state inspection. No, I mean, but honestly, like this sounds cliche, but the older I get, the less material stuff makes me happy, and the more I enjoy doing experiences. Like I want to travel to different parts of the country. I want to travel the world. I want to eat nice, good food. That's what I enjoy. So it doesn't matter how rich I get. I'm going to just use that money to travel more, eat nicer food, or do things like that.
I will never own a home like Andre Jeep just bought.
That's $1 million. That's excessive. That's kind of out of control.
I don't care how much money I have. I told you before, I don't want to do the maintenance. Oh, well, you can pay somebody. But then I'm a slave to having to pay people. You know what I mean? The odds of me going broke are small, but it's just like, I don't want a giant house to maintain. I told you before, I'd love to have like a whole big acreage in like the same size house I have now, like on a ranch in Texas, where it's like, oh, your house is small. Like, yeah, man, I just own a bunch of land and I just shoot guns off. Right? I got a gun range in my backyard, and I'm out here rednecking.
Yeah, like I know myself very well, and if I had a huge house, I would still probably try to clean most of it because I'd be sitting around like, man, that even though the maid just left, there's that's dusty over there, and I'd probably go clean it, and that's just going to take away time from things that I could be doing that are a lot more productive. It's just so much better to have a smaller house and just not have to worry about maintenance, or if you have to do it, you do it in like 30 minutes and you're done.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably clean my entire house in an hour and a half. To military standards.
Yeah, it's easy. Like it's so easy, especially at mine. Like I have this tiny backyard. I just weed whack it in literally 5 minutes. And then if my kitchen's dirty, I just vacuum it real quick. Takes about 2 minutes. I'm done. Then every once in a while I can do some like deeper cleaning, but it doesn't take a lot of time. So I have time to tutor, YouTube, work, and clean because it's just such a small house.
The only way you would see me in like a 4 or 5 bedroom house of decent size is if I had a parent that had to move in with me because they couldn't take care of themselves, and I would just want it for the space. But other than that, it's like, dude, how much house do you need? I'd rather have just like a minimalist house.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take, like, if I was making a lot of money on YouTube or whatever, I wouldn't take that as, like, that's going to go on forever. Because you always have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Like, you could be demonetized, YouTube could collapse, you don't know.
You know what I would have done if that was me? If I made that $1 million, if I made $1 million in a year on YouTube, this house would be completely paid off. Because at that point, if I just didn't feel like working and the YouTube thing just went away, I'd still be fine in just crushing it, crushing it with the disability and, doing whatever it was, medical billing and coding, at home. And I would be like, that's the thing. I don't think this retard understands is like that can go away. Oh, you're going to do appearances. Okay. But in today's modern cancel culture, you do realize that you just saying something out of vogue, you're canceled. And everything is prosecutable up to some dumb shit you said when you were 17. Did you use ethnic slur when you were 17 with your buddies because you thought it was funny back then? Oh, well, that doesn't matter. You're canceled. Just like that woman that was the editor said some dumb, racist, anti-Asian stuff when she was 17. She lost her job for it.
How old is she now?
27 or 28. Like, if there's a statute of limitations for a lot of more serious crimes, and then there's a statute of limitations for dumb shit that you say. It's a hassle. I think, you're right on, man. You're right on the path of frugality. That's why do you want to even do that? I mean,
dude, I'm telling you people, if you're listening to me, take one bit of advice from me. Houses are what destroy the wealth of most Americans. Because if you look at the average person, the majority of their wealth is in their stupid house because they keep adding to it or, buying as much house as they can. And they're not taking the money and investing it in stocks, which the rich people buy. So for the love of God, get a small, tiny house that just meets the needs of your family. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. Because if you do that, you're going to be broke. But you don't want to be broke. You want to be rich.
Well, like I told you, man, I might have bought too much house with the extra bedroom.
Yeah, but you're not like catastrophically overpaying. Oh, you have 2 bedrooms. Oh my God.
I know, but it's just the point that I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's like, Jay, Ron and I my stepdad thought it would be a good idea if we put a bed in your spare bedroom so that when we come to Clearwater, we have a place to stay. I can't say no to my mom. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, you guys, I love you, but you annoy me to no end. You come into my house and you start moving stuff around. Jay, this isn't quite clean enough over here. What are you doing? Oh, and this doesn't go there. This should be over here. And I'm looking at my mom like, it's my house. Things go where I want them to go.
Mom, I'm like 40 now or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
Always gonna be my baby.
I am the baby of the family. I'm 7 years younger than my brother, so I'm the baby. Jay, I don't like how you set things up in here. Let's move this over here. Like, Mom, I love you, but I want to throw you into the sun right now.
Yeah, I let my wife basically do all the setup because it's like, okay, once it's all set up to her standards and there's no drama. Even if people come visit, it's like, well, you can talk to her, It's not my business. I didn't set up this place.
Oh, 100%. If I had a girl and she was here with me, she would be responsible for the decorum. I would be like, baby, I'll be honest with you. As long as I have a comfortable bed, I'm actually happy with just not having anything in the house.
Yeah, I mean, like I have input. It's like if I think something's stupid, like some people like to buy those stupid like basic flower paintings from Goodwill. Like, it's like a basic crappy canvas flower. I told her, I was like, we're not putting crappy canvas flowers.
Let me show you.
Let me
show you my trash pic that I have to put up. I love it. It's a trash pic.
Oh, Lord. I can't wait to see this. That's not bad.
No, it's a total guy picture.
Yeah, I could show you some of my paintings, but they're Civil War paintings, so I don't know if that'll get me in trouble. Civil War, that was like in the 1800s. That's when.
Oh, dude, I like over time, I'm gonna put a lot of military stuff in here.
Yeah, I've got 3 Civil War paintings. And my dad's a huge collector, so if I ever get room, I might, get more and just put them around the house. But then again, that causes fights with me and the wife. So I get 1 bedroom with the paintings, and then everything else, we have flowers or whatever.
It's really happy wife, happy life. In that
up to a certain extent, like you can't.
What I mean by that is things that you don't really care about. I don't think are worth fighting about. It's like, to me, it's like, listen, if you want to do the decoration, you want to make this entire thing pink and female, I don't have a problem with it because, like I said, I just don't care.
Yeah, like, I'm not passionate about my my house as long as it doesn't look stupid. You know, if it's just like standard stuff, okay. But you know, when they start getting into the level of stupidity, like I want to have live, laugh, love on my wall. No, we're not putting that basic crap on my wall, or a flower painting, or you know, whatever other stupid stuff you want to put up. So, but besides that, I'm not going to get into a huge fight about it.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I have this shelving that I want to get for my house, and it's a secret. It's a secret gun safe.
You need to show me where it is so I can come steal your crap whenever I'm down there. Yeah, I actually, so we've thought about coming down there for vacation, but
I was going to ask you if you were coming down.
no, wifey doesn't want to drive 13 hours, 6 months pregnant. So I mean, I understand. So
I don't blame her. When you said that, I was like, when you said that you were coming down, I was like,
it was her idea. Like, I don't want to go vacation anywhere. We have the beach here. We have this club. It's called Paradise Ocean Club. You pay $10 to get in. You get like this nice beach property you can hang out with. They have a restaurant. They have a pool. They have a nice tiki bar. It's like, why do we have to drive to Florida? We can just go to the freaking beach, and it's like 10 minutes away. But she wanted to go on vacation, and then eventually she was like, you know what? I don't want to go anymore. And I was like, yes.
dude, I'm planning a vacation in the summer. I'm going to go to Austin because the comedy clubs are going to be open there. I'm just going to practice here so I have my stuff down, and then just go there and just try to, because that's where all the professional comedians move to.
Have you been to Austin before?
No, I can't wait to go.
Dude, go to Rainy Street and 6th Street. Well, 6th Street's more for the young kids, but I think Rainy Street you might like if you want to go to a couple bars.
Yeah, no, I can't. Dude, you know that I almost went to Austin over Florida. I didn't get into, I forget the college down there. I forget the name of it. UT, I think it is. UT Austin. I didn't get in there. I didn't get into ASU. It's because of my past performance. I had like a 3.2 GPA when I went back to school because math killed me. And then, but because of my grades before, all that stuff was counted in, dropped my GPA to like a 2.8.
So my buddy's here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off. But
no worries.
If you're watching, like and subscribe to my channel and to Jay Naugy's channel. You guys have a wonderful night. Jay, thank you for coming on. We'll do this every Saturday. You guys have a wonderful day.
All right, brother. Have fun.
Text me, baby. Later.
I will.